Hi everyone, it's Gio and welcome back for another year of my NFL picks here on YouTube. The 5th year I've been doing these picks, and I'm dedicating the 2014 NFL season as the year we take the man's money. I'd like to thank all of you who watch these videos, and special thanks for those of you who subscribe. I'm going to be doing something different this year. I'm going to be giving 2 of my subscribers every week Gio Knows gear, so make sure you subscribe to my channel and I'll pick names out of the hat and I'll be sending 2 of my shirts every week to one of you. Okay, here are my picks. And we have to start the season right. We're going to look at our first game, my Minnesota Vikings, going to St. Louis to take on the Rams, who are 4-point favorites at home. Rams quarterback Sam Bradford is out for the year, so they will be going with Sean Hill, who has been a very good backup quarterback. However, unlike last year when Clemens was the quarterback, Hill is new to the system, didn't get very many reps during preseason, has actually only played 4 games in the last 3 years. That's 4 more than me, and didn't even throw a ball last year. I'm wondering how rusty he's going to be. Minnesota, meanwhile, has an entire new coaching staff. Norv Turner comes in as the offensive coordinator, and they'll be able to score a lot more points. Zimmer is now the head coach. Remember, he was the defensive coordinator for Cincinnati, and he left the Bengals with one of the best defenses in the league. I think Minnesota has improved on both sides of the ball immensely. 4 points is a lot to cover here for St. Louis. I actually think the Minnesota Vikings will win. So let's take Minnesota +4. Our second game has Carolina going to Tampa Bay, where the Bucs are 2-point favorites at home. Carolina won the NFC South Division last year. You know what that means? That's the kiss of death. Nobody ever repeats in that division. Carolina has gutted their entire wide receiving core. I believe all 6 of the guys from last year are gone. Not that they were very good, although Steve Smith was quite a capable receiver, but I don't know how much Cam Newton has had to practice with the new guys. He had very limited reps in preseason as well. He's got the flak jacket on to start the season because of his banged up ribs. As Cam goes, so does that offense. I don't know if he's going to run a lot, if they're going to even let him run a lot. And I think they won't be able to score enough points on Tampa Bay, who have improved on both sides of the ball. I think this is a very good number here. So let's lay the points and take Tampa Bay -2. Our third game has Tennessee going to Kansas City, where the Chiefs are 4-point favorites at home. The Chiefs had that great start last year, going 9-0 after that bad season the year before. But if you look at the teams that they played, 7 of the 9 quarterbacks were either the second stringer or are second stringers this year. Whenever they play a good quarterback, they didn't do that well. I'm not saying that Jake Locker is a great quarterback, but he's better than you think, and the Titans are better than you think. Tennessee was one of the teams that lost to Kansas City with a scrub playing last year. It could be a little bit of revenge, maybe even an upset. Don't know if it'll be an upset, but let's take the points. So let's take Tennessee +4. And the last game we're going to look at has the Oakland Raiders going to New York to take on the Jets, who are 5-point favorites at home. You know, Oakland has to go from one end of the country to the other. They'll be in a different time zone by 3 hours. That's never a good thing. They'll also be starting a rookie quarterback as Derek Carr takes over at the helm. Rex Ryan, the coach for the Jets, has a pretty good history of dealing with rookie quarterbacks. I think they played one last year. They beat Buffalo by 7 points, and that was with a rookie quarterback of their own, Geno Smith. The year before that, they crushed Andrew Luck as a rookie, and he's a great quarterback. I think they're going to do very similar. That's a very low number to lay against an Oakland team that might be the worst in the league. So let's lay the points and take the New York Jets -5. Here are my over-under plays. Let's go right back to that Minnesota-St. Louis game. The number is 44. Neither team's quarterback is very impressive. St. Louis's front seven may be the best in the league. That's a very good defense. Minnesota's defense was last in the league last year, but with Zimmer coming over from Cincinnati, he could be all the difference. I want to point out 2 years ago, the New Orleans Saints were dead last in yards given up per game by a lot. And with Rob Ryan, the new defensive coordinator, they went from 32nd to 4th. So a good defensive-minded coach can really make a difference. Minnesota actually allowed the least amount of points in the preseason. I know that's preseason, but still, it's a sign of things to come. I think this is going to be a very low-scoring game. So let's take under the 44. The second game we're going to look at has Buffalo going to Chicago. That number is 47.5. I'm not sure if Buffalo's defense is as good as last year. They lost Jarius Byrd. They can run the ball really well, and they have some talent at wide receiver with the rookie. Chicago, meanwhile, just scores a lot of points and gives up a lot of points. They were second last in points allowed only to Minnesota last year. Let's take over 47.5. The third game we're going to look at has San Francisco going to Dallas. That number is 51.5. It's a little higher, but half of San Francisco's defense is either hurt or banned from the league for the next little while under suspension. Meanwhile, their offense is very good. Everyone's healthy. Nobody gave up more yards last year on defense than Dallas, and Tony Romo and his friends can certainly put up the points. I think this could be the highest scoring game of the week. So let's take over the 51.5. And the last game we're going to look at is one of the Monday Nighters, San Diego at Arizona. Phillip Rivers puts up a lot of numbers himself. Bruce Arians, the coach for Arizona, is a very offensive-minded coach, and you're going to see that Arizona is going to be scoring more points this year than last. Plus, they've lost some key guys on defense. They will probably give up more points than they did last year. So let's take the over 45. Here are my straight-up picks for this week. We started off the first game of the year as Green Bay goes to Seattle. I hope these two teams kill each other, actually, but I'm going to go with the champs. Let's take the Seahawks. New Orleans is at Atlanta. I think the Saints have a very good chance of winning the Super Bowl. I don't think Atlanta's good enough to beat them. Let's go with New Orleans. I told you about the upset I think is going to happen in Minnesota over St. Louis Rams. Pittsburgh always seems to beat Cleveland. Roethlisberger never loses against the Ohio team, so let's go with Pittsburgh. What should be the biggest rout of the week, Philadelphia will probably take Jacksonville very easily. You might want to consider them for your suicide pick this week if you're in a suicide pool. Or you could take the next game. Oakland goes to New York. I think the Jets will win. The Jets are a good team to pick in a suicide pool. If you can only pick a team once a year, you might want to take the Jets there. Cincinnati and Baltimore. Baltimore slightly favored, but I'm going to go with Cincinnati. Chicago should easily beat Buffalo. I think Washington will just take care of Houston. Talked about Tennessee, Kansas City. I like the upset. Let's go with the Titans. New England should squeak by Miami. But, I think New England, a lot of people aren't talking about how much they improved with adding Darrelle Revis, and they're healthy on offense. I think they'll win this game, so take New England. Tampa Bay is another team we talked about. I like the Bucs over Carolina. San Francisco should beat Dallas in one of the biggest shootouts, say 50-45. I like San Francisco. Denver and Indianapolis. It's really tempting to take Indy as an upset here, but let's go with Denver. The two Monday Nighters, Detroit and the Giants. The Giants look great in preseason, but that's preseason. I don't know if they've got very much to offer this year, so let's go with Detroit. And the last game is San Diego at Arizona. No team beat more playoff teams last year than San Diego, but Arizona is another one of my dark horse teams to win it all, so let's go with the Arizona Cardinals. Okay, so those are my picks for this week. Good luck to you. I tend to tweak my picks a little bit as we get closer to Sunday. I will tweet some of the changes that I make. I also do parlays. Just look for the Let's Take the Man's Money hashtag. Follow me on Twitter at GeoKnows. And make sure you check out the NFL YouTube Prognosticators channel. We have a lot of other videos that some of the great prognosticators on YouTube make. Make sure you check them out. You're going to see a lot of great videos by a lot of great people. Okay, for the Geo Knows YouTube channel, I am Geo. It's been a long time. Let's take the man's money.